So if you'll remember, I did a video on the Twomad situation not too long ago about. That video is doing pretty well for itself, but if you'll also remember, some new stuff has happened since then. So the popular YouTuber Twomad has come under fire, extreme fire, and probably justified fire for the allegations that he essayed a girl who goes on Twitter by the name of Goldie Bell. Now, she has several screenshots, a contract offered by Twomad to basically say that he would never do it again, and a video recording of him apologizing.
Okay, I at least want to take responsibility for what the fuck I did, you know. Like the way I treated you and like viewed you, this is not like okay. Like I pushed past your fucking boundaries just for like my.
And if you take all of this evidence, it's pretty fucking bad, all right? It's pretty evident that he did something wrong, right? And nobody's contesting that except for, well, him. But anybody who has actually looked at the evidence is not contesting what he did, right? Like, that's just not even in the question, right? Except now, Twomad has come under even more fire, right? And people have been asking him to release a document video, like his official response video to the allegations, right? People have been asking him to respond officially, and if you'll notice, he hasn't in quite some time, because quite literally he's been served a court order. Now, Twomad is unable to talk about this until the civil suit is underway. Now, this is all being fueled by a guy by the name of Jameski. Now, if you don't know Jameski, he and Twomad had a little bit of beef about, I don't fucking know, I think it was bowling or something, like something trivial and stupid that like is insignificant, right? And now Jameski is fueling and funding the legal case for the victim Goldie Bell, or the alleged victim, I should say, I apologize, for the alleged victim Goldie Bell to take Twomad to court. Now, this is both bad and good, if that makes sense. This means that Twomad will most likely either be seeing justice, and if the court deems it not be seeing justice, which basically just clears up my job, right? Like, I don't have to hold him to a civil court if the actual court is going to take it over. But, however, this also means that we don't get a Twomad official response, and we don't get a Twomad response video to the allegations where he's actually documenting things until this court case is over. We don't get to see that, and it will most likely never happen, right? Like, unless this court case goes in his favor, it will never happen. And I'm gonna be honest, I saw the Jameski thing back when I was making a video on Twomad, but I chose not to include it because I figured it was just never, like, just flat out never going to happen, right? Like, I figured that was just like not even like a possibility. Like, a YouTuber funding a lawsuit against another YouTuber sounds about as probable as Rice Gum and iDubbbz boxing, or was it like iDubbbz and Leafy boxing? That just isn't gonna fucking happen. However, with all this information coming out about how he has literally been given a court order, changes up a lot, and like, I mean a lot of what I expected to be the outcome of this situation. And quite frankly, it makes me a little happy. You know, it makes me happy to know that now we don't have to guess. Things are going to get figured out, right? Like, now we don't have to guess if Twomad is innocent or not, right? Like, we don't have to guess if this alleged victim is telling the truth or not. We get that all sorted out for us, right? Like, we don't have to worry about it, right? Like, if Twomad's innocent and the court deems him innocent, I can go back to watching his videos, right? And obviously our court system isn't perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but it does serve a good purpose, and it does like do what it's supposed to, right? For the most part, about 80 to 70% of the time, it gets its job done, right? So when this alleged victim and this alleged sexual assaulter are going to be going through court, that gives me a lot of confidence in two things: that I was right about the allegations and that they are legal standing worthy, right? And it gives me confidence in the fact that he is going to be seeing justice, whether it's getting his name cleared or whether it's going to jail or giving up a fine for this, right? He's going to be seeing some sort of justice if his reputation hasn't already taken a hit from this, right? Like, this is, it makes me happy to know that this is going to be the outcome, right? Like, this definitely makes me happy. So I mean, like, there's not much to talk about it. I mean, Twomad just got too fucked if you're really thinking about it. like even if he is innocent, then his reputation has been ruined like beyond compare, right? But this does serve to potentially regain at least a little bit of reputation if he does go to court, right? Obviously nobody wants to fucking like go to court, but like if he does go to court and the court deems him innocent, I can see that potentially bringing back like quite a bit of what little like reputation and status he had, right? Like I could see that bringing him partially back into people's good graces, right? And like the thing with the 16-year-old was pretty bad, right? Like that was and it's not to say that was like a bad joke. I thought the joke was whatever. I don't think Twomad's a pedophile. I think he was just like being stupid like always. I think he was trolling. And if you believe him when he said he wasn't trolling, you're fucking like, you're brain dead, right? But I do think the joke was like bad for his reputation, if that makes sense. I think that was like a negative. I think that was an all-around negative for his reputation. If this court case like continues and concludes in his favor, then a lot of his reputation, in my opinion, will be brought back, right? And if this court case does not conclude in his favor, then the victim is going to see justice and all is going to be right with the world. So in my opinion, this is just an all-around positive, right? Like this is definitely a good thing, right? This is something that needs to happen. And I'm glad to see that like YouTube allegations are finally like one set of YouTube allegations is finally like going to court instead of just sitting on YouTube and ruining somebody's life, right? Because like my problem with a lot of allegations are that they're just on YouTube and they're not like out and about in like the court system or the legal system, right? Because that's how normal people fix their problems, right? They go to the police or they go to a lawyer, right? When YouTubers have problems, right, 90% of the problems that are like fake and like not true will still damage your reputation and credibility, right? And so like that's my problem with people who don't like go to the court of law for their issues, right? Like I don't, because it's so hard to check, right? It's so hard to like validate things like this on YouTube because they're just so like, they're so difficult, right, to make sense of, you know? Like they're so difficult to find evidence for, especially when like there's a gap through the internet, right? Because you're not like in person with this person, right? There's the gap of the internet, so you can't see them face to face. You can't see the evidence firsthand, right? That's why I always say go to the authorities before you post anything, because if you post something first, the authorities aren't going to take you seriously like whatsoever. So but yeah, I mean, thanks to Jennifer for the super thanks of $10. And as I said in the last video, I am not like requesting super thanks. I'm not gonna like ask you for them, but if you guys want to send me any money, attach a question to that and I'll answer your question in the next video. It's an honor to receive any funding from any of you, so thank you, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Bro talk shit, we running him down. He almost smoke with a gang, nah. That shit is not advised. I'ma come up on some people with no rise. They ain't got no money and they not up no surprise. When I'm rapping, I'm a